I'm just going to be telling you right up front what I'm going to be talking about today. The Olmrecker versus Delirious court case. They got a new judge to overview the court case. There's some more accounts that were suspended that are suspected to be delirious. And Olmrecker is still getting death threats. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the new judge for the Delirious and Olmrecker court case. From what I can read here, this guy assumed office June 6th of 2023, and he was appointed by Joe Biden. So apparently almost 300 new cases were reassigned, and the reasoning is to balance caseload, so it's just easier to handle all these court cases. But with Olmrecker and Delirious kind of being more high profile than what most people would think it is, maybe in the court of law, it doesn't matter regardless if these guys are famous YouTubers, and maybe hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars could end up being sued between each party. I don't know. That probably all doesn't matter. Will this affect the court case a lot or not? Well, talking to some people, there are some people who think that this new judge could be a little different because the previous judge that we ended up having for the court case so far has mainly been siding with Olmrecker and his attorneys rather than Delirious and his attorneys. Delirious and his attorneys have been filing documents that haven't really been doing too much good for themselves. In my previous video, I talked about how Olmrecker is technically winning this court case with everything that's going on so far, and the more and more information we can probably find out about Delirious and have so far, and how Delirious and his attorneys really couldn't get this thing to just go away or present anything good enough for the judge to think, yeah, we can close this case early. There's nothing really there to be found. It hasn't gone that way. The judge has just been siding with Olmrecker and his attorneys. So some people that I've talked to think that this new judge could be something that ends up being in Delirious's favor, or if it's just the same thought process as the previous judge, it could be in favor of Olm still, and maybe even more so. This judge is gonna have to come in, see what's been going on so far in the court case, get caught up, so as you can expect, there might be another small delay with this court case, which there seems always to be small delays with this. But yet again, we just gotta be patient, see what ends up coming out here in the future, and then hopefully we can hear from either the attorneys of both Delirious and Olmrecker or Delirious and Olmrecker themselves at some point when they're able to talk publicly, hopefully not by having a screaming match at each other on Twitter like it's happened before in the past. But regardless, that's the most recent update. Let me know if this new judge you think is going to end up being more in favor of Delirious and kind of switch the tune from the previous judge, or let me know if you think the judge is going to be about the same as the last one and maybe Olmrecker is going to continue to win this thing. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Next, I want to talk to you about two different accounts, Lee and Jonathan. Now, these accounts are assumed to be Delirious, but they are not confirmed to be Delirious yet. I don't know, I don't have evidence or fact showing me that this Lee or Jonathan account is really Delirious or not. But these are believed to be Delirious. I mean, the second one is kind of it's like his first name, Jonathan, which we all heard from multiple members of the Vanoss crew say that before. Delirious himself has said his first name is Jonathan. I don't know where the Lee part comes in and how that account was made, but these accounts do have a bunch of just random numbers in them, which is kind of similar to the other accounts that we found out that were him before, including a Pizza Pirate account with a bunch of numbers and Birdwatcher with a bunch of numbers. The usernames itself do seem random enough like the other ones to be Delirious, but again, there's absolutely no evidence. All we know is that these Twitter accounts are suspended on Twitter, and they did happen recently, which pretty much means even with Elon Musk owning Twitter and everything like that, the whole alt account and everything that happened there is still going to happen even under Elon Musk. People thought that since Elon Musk bought Twitter, maybe Delirious would be unbanned, but that just has never happened, and it doesn't look like Delirious will ever get a Twitter account back. But again, we'll have to see how the court case goes, because that really is going to affect everyone and their channels and blah 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 blah. In this particular, if there are more alt accounts and these are somehow tied to Delirious in some way or some fashion, or maybe even a Delirious fan in that matter, they probably got suspended for a good reason, because typically the alt accounts that Delirious used were meant to harass, attack, dox, and go after Olm. And same thing if it was a Delirious fan account. If Delirious fans end up making alt accounts, they probably did the exact same thing. Now, were there maybe some Omwrecker fans who made alt accounts and did similar stuff? Yes. I'm not trying to say that Omwrecker is a saint in all of this. All I'm saying is that there is a lot of stuff coming out about Delirious, and this should be kept in mind that these possibly can be Delirious accounts, but they're not confirmed, and we're not saying they are. It's just they're suspicious that these accounts were also suspended right after we found out that Delirious did have alt accounts, and it was confirmed in a court document that he does have one that I made a video on. Anyways, let's move on to the last thing I wanted to talk about today. Omwrecker death threats. Now, I'm going to be talking about this as serious as I possibly can. I've been talking about it since I'm blue in the face. I've said it about Minilad online, I've said it about Delirious, and I've said it about Ohm and everybody else that I talk to. I don't condone death threats. I don't condone threats of violence. I don't condone any of this. But it's still to my attention that people are going after Omwrecker because they are really, really upset with what he did to Delirious and the rest of the Vanoss crew, and they think Omwrecker is a snake, and he's a clout chaser, and he's this, and that, blah, 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 blah. If you have not found yourself to be more neutral in this entire thing because you realize both sides have effed up pretty bad when it comes to things like Delirious having alt accounts and admitting to alt accounts, and also in the court case we found out he has more alt accounts, and a bunch of other stuff Delirious has done. If that has not swayed you to become more neutral rather than just blindly supporting Delirious, I don't know what to tell you. You guys are just like Minilad fans who will blindly support Minilad till the ends of the earth, and I can do absolutely nothing to sway or change your mind. But again, I'm not trying to. I'm trying to just make these videos to report on the drama, any new updates and any new information you guys would want to hear, and who is willing to listen to this and understand what I'm trying to say. There might be some people who watch this thinking that I'm just trying to attack Delirious, but that's not the thing at all. I want them both to be able to find success on YouTube, and I want them both to be able to find a good way out of this whole drama that they're in, the court case between them. I don't want to see any of them hurt or anything. I'm just using my best, analysis to let you know what I think is going on. When I say Omwrecker is probably going to win this court case, I don't mean that like I don't care if Delirious loses. It would suck if both of them had to lose a ton of money to each other. It would be awful. And so far, both of them have had to pay attorney fees that are really, really expensive. So the situation is not the best for either of them, but what I have an issue with is that people still want to send death threats to people thinking that that's going to accomplish anything, and to think that Delirious would even really want that in the first place. If Delirious was completely heartless and wanted the worst for Ohm, maybe he would want everyone to send death threats and awful things, but I don't think Delirious does, and I don't think Omwrecker wants people sending Delirious harmful stuff. The best way to view this is not blindly supporting one side or the other, but be like a bird. Sit very, very far away, have that very far and open perspective where you can kind of see everything, and then when this is all over and this is all done, we can all come together and say, alright, whose side were you on mostly through all of this, I guess? Where did your opinions mostly sway? Who did you line up with? Blah, 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 blah. Or maybe at the end of this, we won't side with either of them. Maybe both of them are the perfect match and they're perfect for each other. Similar to what Liz Cat said in her own video, that they are kind of perfect for each other. And at the end of the day, they are very, very similar. They were best friends originally. If not best friends, really, really, really good friends. And I don't think either of them deserve all the harassment and the death threats online, at least anymore. They're handling things in a court of law, and they should be able to do that and not have many issues from there. This is my video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you guys all next time. Peace.